Anything, said Elia. Sarah smiled. Sing me the pig lullaby. He sang it for her. Her eyes sparkled. That's so pretty. What does it mean? Elia tried his best to translate it from Latvian into English. But it wasn't the same. It rhymes in Latvian, he told her. Yeah, I could tell, said Sarah. A year later, their child was born. Sarah named him Stanley because she noticed that Stanley was Yellow's spelled backward. Sarah changed the words of Pig Lullaby so that they rhymed, and every night she sang it to little Stanley. If only, the woodpecker sighs, the bark on the tree was as soft as skies, while the wolf waited below, hungry and lonely, crying to the moon. If only. Stanley's hole was as deep as his shovel, but not quite wide enough on the bottom. He glanced as he slid off a chunk of dirt, then raised it up and flung it onto the pile. He laid his shovel back down on the bottom of his hole, and, to his surprise, it fit. He rotated it and only had to chip off a few chunks of dirt here and there before he could lie flat across his hole in every direction. He heard the water truck approaching and felt a strange sense of pride at being able to show Mr. Psa or Mr. Pendanski that he had dug his first hole. He put his hands on the rim and tried to pull himself up. He couldn't do it. His arms were too weak to lift his heavy body. He used his legs to help, but he just didn't have any strength. He was trapped in his hole. It was almost funny, but he was in the mood to laugh. Stanley, he heard Mr. Pendanski call. Using his shovel, he dug 2 footholes in the hole wall. He climbed out to see Mr. Pendanski walking over to him. I was afraid you'd faint, Mr. Pendanski said. You wouldn't have been the first. I'm finished, Stanley said, putting his blood-spotted cap back on his head. All right, said Mr. Pendanski, raising his hand for a high five, but Stanley ignored it. He didn't have any strength. Mr. Pendanski lowered his hand and looked down at Stanley's hole. Well done, he said. You want a ride back? Stanley shook his hand. I will walk. Mr. Pendanski climbed back into the truck without filling Stanley's canteen. Stanley waited for him to drive away, then took another look at his hole. He knew it was nothing to be proud of, but he felt proud of nonetheless. He soaked up his last bit of salvia and spat. A lot of people don't believe in curses. A lot of people don't believe in yellow-spotted lizards either. But if one bites you, it doesn't make a difference whether you believe in it or not. Actually, it is kind of odd that scientists named the lizard after its yellow spots. Each lizard has exactly 11 yellow spots, but the spots are hard to see on its yellow-green body. The lizard is from 6 to 10 inches long and has big red eyes. In truth, its eyes are yellow, and it is the skin around the eyes which is red, but everyone always speaks of its red eyes. It also has black teeth and milky white tongue. Looking at you, you would have thought that it should have been named a red-eyed lizard or a black-toothed lizard or perhaps a white-tongued lizard. If you've ever been close enough to see the yellow spots, you are probably dead.